Chair of Health, Informatics, and Administration in the College of Health Sciences at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. I'm going to talk to you briefly today about areas of research in which you as a student can be involved, whether you're an undergraduate, a master's level student, or a PhD level student. One thing I want to stress is the opportunity in research in this department can take advantage of the important overlap and interplay between informatics and administration. As I've said before, informatics has to be looked at in the context of organizations, healthcare organizations, and healthcare management and administration must understand how to take advantage of one of its most important strategic resources for management, and that is its information. Okay, so I'm going to start initially on the informatics side. The informatics, biomedical and healthcare informatics in general, runs a spectrum from what's often called bioinformatics to clinical informatics to community or patient informatics, which is a more social kind of area, finally to almost mathematical and statistical kinds of studies. For example, the design of terminology and ontology are both sort of on the mathematical end. Okay, so what's some research area that you could pursue in informatics? I'll just give a few examples. So let's think about patient-centered care with the object on the patient. A number of areas of research suggest themselves. One, for example, would be how does one build user interfaces to information systems containing patient information that are really understandable and flexible and usable by patients. A number of healthcare organizations these days have some kind of patient portal so the patient can see their lab results or other information. How does one present that information to the patient in the form of a computer or web-based interface? What language should be used? What's really going to communicate to the patients? What are the needs of the patient in terms of information? What questions do patients ask or want to have answered? A variety of research areas in what are sometimes called patient or community informatics. On the community side, of course, that's where we don't focus on the individual, but we concern ourselves with how to extend our reach, oftentimes as a matter of education or public health, to an entire community. On the other hand, another area of informatics that's incredibly important these days is sometimes called One Health. That is where animal health and human health are understood as extremely related, very closely related. For the case of what are sometimes called species jumping diseases, there are plenty of examples of that. AIDS is one, for example, or HIV infection is one. And another one could be, West Nile virus. And there are many examples of this sort, but it's important to study both human and animal biomes, and even plant and more generally environmental circumstances to really understand how health is connected. So some research areas for that would be how do we link up information from veterinary medicine with information from human medicine? How is that to be done? How do you make and how do you make that useful in a decision-making context? Another area of research, now this one focuses on informatics but also on healthcare administration, and that's the critically important area these days of electronic health record systems and what is called meaningful use and the government mandates for healthcare reform. So we're all supposed to, all of the organizations are supposed to have electronic health records. Moreover, you have to demonstrate that there's meaningful use of the information in those systems. That is to say, it's used for clinical decision making, for quality improvement, and so on. Moving more just to the health administration side, we might focus on issues in research of how one, let's say, properly introduces change into a healthcare organization. The introduction of an electronic health record system still these days constitutes a fairly disruptive change to healthcare organizations. People have to change the way they work sometimes to accommodate the new systems, the new technology, and how best to do that, how well received that is, what are the conditions under which you will most likely have success, could all be areas of research in healthcare administration, again with the linkage back to the informatics or information systems side. So there's a number of areas of research, and of course any of our faculty and myself included will be happy to discuss any of these opportunities, again whether you're an undergraduate, a master's student, or a PhD student. Thank you.